It's your boy Smokes YT, the Milkman, the Silk Man, and we always back with another video. And if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you really like Saints content, this is the place to be. Now, if you did not already watch my draft recap where I graded all the draftees, make sure y'all go watch it. Link will be down below in the description. But today we are going to be analyzing every undrafted free agent that we signed. And you know, these guys have something to prove. And you know, there's undrafted free agents that we had. Hidden gem special teams players like JT Gray, who made an all-pro appearance. Deontay Harris, an all-pro and a pro bowler in his rookie year. Saints legends like Pierre Thomas. And then you have guys like Marquez Callaway, Malcolm Roach, Juwan Johnson, Tony Jones Jr., who took advantage of their opportunity and made it work. But let's get on to the first undrafted free agent we got here. Is Trey Williams. Now look here. I was very excited as soon as we got Trey Williams because I had him on tons of mock drafts because of his versatility and what he can showcase on the field as a safety, as a slot, even playing the outside. Trey Williams is going to be special for this team, and I'm very glad we got him in UDFA. But at his pro day, he clocked in at 4.46, a vertical leap of 36 inches, a 10-foot 3-inch broad jump, and a 20 reps on a bench press. A very athletic pro day. You know, Trey Williams, his career stats: 92 tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles. In 2020 stats: 23 tackles, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections, and 1 touchdown. And Trey Williams, you know, his strengths and weakness: he's very long and rangy at 6'2". He's very athletic. His versatility is through the roof, as he can play the slot, he can play outside, and he can play safety position. And he's very physical, and that's what I like about Trey Williams. And he thrives in man and zone coverage. But his weaknesses: he has to work on that choppy footwork, sometimes over aggressive. He needs to improve on his anticipation, needs to improve on his ball skills. But Chris Richard got himself a very good defensive back to work with in Trey Williams, and he can use him multiple places, utilize him in multiple ways. Trey Williams was a great pickup, you know. But next up we have Bryce Thompson, which is another pickup that I like because Bryce Thompson is another dog in the secondary who plays with toughness and physicality. He plays with great ball skills. You know, Bryce Thompson was a steal alongside of Trey Williams. We got some dogs in this DB core. You know, I like Bryce Thompson a lot, you know, but his pro day stats: he ran a 4.56, a 10-foot broad jump, and a vertical leap of 34 inches, and he did 9 reps on the bench press. You know, Bryce Thompson at Tennessee, his career stats: 100 tackles, 8 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles. And at 2020 stats with the Volunteers: 36 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 pass deflections, and 1 forced fumble. You know, Bryce Thompson, his strengths: you know, he's good recognition of play development, he has good range and top end speed to handle deep coverage. His versatility: can play some slot, some safety. He has very good ball skills, and I mean that. He has very good ball skills and some hands. And he has weaknesses: he's grabby on crosser routes, sometimes takes poor tackling angles, and improve on the playing balance, inconsistent getting off block, and needs to improve finishing tackles. Like I said, you know, most of this stuff can be improved and can be coached up with Chris Richard, but we have us a dog in Bryce Thompson and Trey Williams in that secondary. Let's get on to the next one, where we have interior defensive lineman Josiah Brunson from Washington. Now, Josiah Brunson lined up at Washington as a nose tackle and a 3-tech defensive tackle. Now, you know, Josiah Brunson is going to be a developmental project, but he does have some upside. He's a very solid run stopper, but you know, there's still some stuff he needs to work on. But you know, him with Ryan Nelson, he's in good hands. But his pro day stats: with a 5.07 on his 40 time, a 30-inch vertical leap, 8 feet and 5 inches on the broad jump, and 27 reps on the bench press. Josiah Brunson was a 2-year starter. His career stats are 42 tackles, 5 tackle for losses, and 3 sacks. But his 2020 stats was 8 sacks and 1 fumble recovery, playing a minimum amount of games. But you know, Josiah Brunson, his strengths: he's very explosive, he plays with proper pad level, and he has good body quickness and solid agility. But he has some good strength too. But as far as weaknesses for Josiah Brunson, he lacks a little length, and he needs to add some pass rush counters. But he needs to improve on his pass rushing and his run stopping. But you know, Josiah Brunson just needs a little bit more development. But I really think he's in good hands with Ryan Nelson, who's a very good defensive line coach. In year one, he's possibly going to be behind a Shy Tuttle and is going to be behind a David Onyemata and Malcolm Roach. But, you know, Josiah Brunson is solid. But let's get on to the next one, where we signed Stevie Scott, the third running back from Indiana. And now, just watching him just screams out Latavius Murray 2.0. And Latavius Murray just better watch out for his spot, because Stevie Scott, the third, he's very physical. He's a tough downhill runner. He even shows value in the passing game. So, you know, Stevie Scott is the guy. You know, Stevie Scott ran a 4.57 in his 40 time, a 31-inch vertical leap, 10-foot broad jump, and 14 bench press reps for Stevie Scott in his pro day. Now, his Indiana stats, his career stats: 30 touchdowns, 2,543 yards, and 562 attempts. In every season he played in Indiana, he always had 10 touchdowns, 561 yards, and 10 touchdowns in 2020. Stevie Scott is a bruiser. His strengths: his quick cut, good contact balance. He has good burst. He is very decisive. He has very good vision too. He is very physical, and like I said, he is a bruiser too. And his weaknesses: he needs to improve on his pass protection, and his other weaknesses is looseness in the space is limited. And like I said, Stevie Scott has tons of potential. He's one of my dark horse candidates for later on in the future if he's able to make the team. Stevie Scott will be in competition with guys like Tony Jones Jr., Dwayne Washington, but I could see him as a dark horse candidate replacing Latavius Murray. The next guy we have is Lawrence Woods, which is another gem, another diamond in the rough special teams player in Lawrence Wood, who has tons of potential in the kick return, very good as a gunner, has solid ball skills. I mean, yo, we got some talent in Lawrence Wood. Now, at his pro day, he ran a 4.52, a vertical leap of 37 inches, a 10-foot 4-inch broad jump, and a bench press of 13 reps. You know, there was some specific stats about Lawrence Wood that I couldn't find, but this is what I got. Y'all let me know if y'all can find it. But, you know, his career stats: 17 tackles, 1 interception, 8 pass deflection. He had 609 kick return yards. But Lawrence Woods, you know, his strengths: he has solid ball skills. He had 8 pass deflections. You know, his versatility: he could play some cornerback, he could play kick returner, he could play punt returner, he could play gunner for you. He has tons of special teams value. He's a dog as a gunner. He has good return skills, but his weaknesses: needs to improve on tackling big bodies. Like I said, not much information I got from Lawrence Woods, but you know, Lawrence Woods is going to be a diamond in the rough, a guy who's a very good special teams player. Who knows if he's going to be good as a defensive back, but yo, we got some value out of the guy Lawrence Woods. He's going to be special. But next up, we have Dillon Sooner, tight end from Iowa. Now, we got another big body tight end to compete with the guys in that tight end room. He's about 6'7". He's a very good blocker out of Iowa, and you know, he can really be a really solid player behind a Trotman or a Van Ness. You know, at his pro day, he did clock in at a 4.86, a broad jump of 9 feet and 4 inches, a vertical leap of 30 inches, and in bench press he did not participate. But at Iowa, Dillon Sooner did, at 26 receptions, 312 yards, and 1 touchdown for his career stats. 2020, 18 receptions, 205 yards, and 0 touchdowns. I believe he had like a 79 blocking grade too. But Dillon Sooner's strengths is his size and frame, as he is 6'7", 268 pounds. He has good vision. He's a dominant inline blocker. He's effective in working in double teams. But as far as Dillon Sooner's weaknesses, you know, his inconsistent hand placement in the run game, which he needs to improve. He shows some stiffness, and he needs to improve on finishing blocks. But I'm really excited to see what Dillon Sooner has in place. He's going to be in competition with guys like Garrett Griffin and Ethan Wolf, and I think Dillon Sooner is going to easily win those type of competitions. A very good blocker. I would like to see what we have in Dillon Sooner. But the next person we have is Shaq Smith, linebacker from Maryland and Clemson, who played at Clemson, then entered the transfer portal to go to Maryland. Now, Shaq Smith is not the most flashiest linebacker, but he's a very solid coverage linebacker. He can guard running backs, he can guard tight ends. You know, Shaq Smith, you know, is a very solid linebacker in general. You know, he ran a 4.79 at his pro day and a vertical leap of 30 inches, a broad jump of 9 feet and 2 inches, and bench press 22 reps at his pro day. Now, Shaq Smith did sit out his 2020 season due to COVID, but he did get 52 tackles, 6 tackles for losses, 5 pass deflections, 1 interception for his career stats. 2019, 24 tackles, 3 tackles for losses, and 4 pass deflections. Now, Shaq Smith's strengths, his size and frame, as he at 6'3", 237 pounds. He has very good athleticism. He is solid in pass coverage, as he can guard a running back and a tight end position. He's very versatile. He can rush the passer too, but he can play all 3 linebacker positions in the Sam, the Will, and the Mike position. But his weaknesses: weaknesses. He needs to improve on his hands in the pass rush, and he's very inconsistent. But you know, Shaq Smith is going to be in competition with the guys like Caden Ellis, Andrew Dowell, and Chase Hansen. But you know, Shaq Smith is a very solid linebacker. I wouldn't mind Shaq Smith. But this is a solid pickup nonetheless for the depth at the linebacker position. But with the next signee was Nolan Cooney from Syracuse. Now, Nolan Cooney is one of the nation's best punters in the NCAA. And, you know, Nolan Cooney is a pretty solid guy. You know, as far as his stats, is 74 punts, which is most in the NCAA, 3,314 punt yards, which is most in the NCAA and the ACC, and a 4.8 average yards, which is 4th in the NCAA. Now, he's going to be in a battle at training camp with punter Blake Gillikin, who's going to be the heir apparent to Thomas Morstead. We'll see in training camp. But now the next signing is Mike Brown, offensive guard from West Virginia. Now it looks like we're getting even more offensive lineman depth, and now we got Mike Brown, who's a pretty solid run blocker at his time in West Virginia. He did get second team all Big 12 at his time in West Virginia. You know, his pro day stats, he ran a 5.61, a broad jump of 7 feet and 2 inches, a vertical leap of 23 inches, and bench press 24 reps, you know. But his stats at West Virginia, you know, he had a 71.1 pass blocking grade and a run blocking grade of 75.9. You know, he did pretty solid in West Virginia. You know, Mike Brown, as far as his strengths, you know, his strengths is a power run blocker. You know, his size and frame, he has very good athleticism. Now his weaknesses, he has inconsistent foot speed, he has inactive hands, which can improve. Now Mike Brown is going to be another solid offensive lineman that's going to be added to this depth, and he has tons of offensive linemen to beat during camp. But I like that signing. But the next signing was Alex Hoffman, offensive lineman from Carroll's College. You know, a pretty small school. Now Alex Hoffman, not really a lot of information on him because of a small school, but he looks like a beast in the trenches. He's pancaking guys. You know, he looks very physical. You know, it's not too much information I got from him, but his strengths, you know, he has good work ethic. You know, he's very athletic, and his ability to change directions, you know. But his weaknesses, like I said, not really much to work with Alex Hoffman. But you know, from the highlights, you know, from the film, he looks pretty solid as a run blocker, a very good pass protector, as you guys pancaking guys left and right. But yo, y'all let me know about that. Next up, in the last prospect on this list, is Eric Burrell from Wisconsin. We got another playmaker, another safety, another guy in the DB core who is very versatile, can play in the box. You know, Eric Burrell played all over the place in Wisconsin. He can be a very vital piece to this DB core with his versatility. We can use that a lot. Now at his pro day, he ran a 4.64 at his 40 time, a vertical leap of 31 inches, 10 feet on a broad jump, and 8 bench press reps at his pro day. Now Eric Burrell, his stats at Wisconsin: 125 tackles, 4 interceptions, 11 pass deflections. You know, 23 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 pass deflections. Now, as far as his strengths, Eric Burrell, you know, he has very good tackling technique. He has good ball skills, good ball tracking. He has good instincts. He's very versatile. He can play inside the box, and he can play a little bit of slot corner too. Alongside of that, in his weaknesses, he lacks range and length, and he's athletically limited. But Eric Burrell can be a very vital piece, like I said, to this safety core, and it's something that we really need, because behind Marcus Williams, behind Malcolm Jenkins, you have guys like PJ Williams and JT Gray. So you're going to need another safety just for depth, and he's very versatile. He can play all over the field. He can be used in multiple ways. You know, I like the Eric Burrell pickup. Very solid guy in the secondary. He's a dog. But as far as the depth chart, you have Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Zach Bond, Caden Ellis, Chase Hansen, Andrew Dowell, and then the new addition is Shaq Smith. A pretty solid linebacker core. We still need some more depth in there, but with the running back core, you have Ty Montgomery, Dwayne Washington, Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, Tony Jones Jr., then Stevie Scott the third. That's a pretty solid running back core. And then the offensive lineman core with Will Clapp, James Hurst, Calvin Throckmorton, Derek Kelly, Ethan Greenidge, Landon Young, and then you have Mike Brown and Alex Hoffman as your offensive line core. Pretty solid and deep, you know. But with the safety core, Malcolm Jenkins, Marcus Williams, Eric Burrell, JT Gray, and then PJ Williams. A solid safety core. I still think you need some more depth behind there, but that's pretty solid. And then you're going to have your punter battle and Blake Gillikin and Nolan Cooney. That's going to be a very interesting battle. I had Blake Gillikin winning, but you know, that's going to be a very good battle in training camp. Now with the cornerback core, you have Trey Williams, Bryce Thompson, Lawrence Woods, Marshawn Lattimore, C.D. Deuce, Paulson, and Debo, and then you have Grant Haley, Keith Washington, and Patrick Robinson. Now this is the list for my year one impact UDF players, and I have Lawrence Woods. I think he's going to have a year one impact on the special teams core. Pretty solid returner, pretty solid gunner. And my other year one impact player is Bryce Thompson, who can show some impact on the special team side of the field. And another impact player I have is Trey Williams, who showed year one, who I have having an impact role in special teams, even getting rotational roles. But another honorable mention is Eric Burrell, safety from Wisconsin. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I think this UDFA class is gonna be very good. In my opinion, it's low-key better than the draft, but yeah, we're gonna keep on quiet with that. But y'all let me know what y'all year one impact UDFA players looking like. But yo, to join the Dome Patrol, all you have to do is subscribe. DOP on 3, subscribe on me. It's being your boy Smoke SWAT, who that, and we always out here.
I love you, ocean, I swim in it. Slaughter your block and we been in it. Whoop out the play, we whipping it. All of my brothers be whipping it. All of my brothers be whipping it. I'm finna kiss me a vibe, yeah, yeah. You can just stay for the night, yeah, yeah. I buy you something new, like, yeah, yeah. She can move with my time, yeah, yeah.